and welcome to the Relaxation and Recovery module of the Breathe series. This week, we are going to be doing a light, gentle stretch just to kind of get our wiggles out. And that is going to then move us into a relaxation practice called Yoga Nidra. So the second half of this, which will take about 30 minutes, is going to be completely what is referred to as yoga sleep. And it is a way that we can bring the relaxation response into the body. And so the relaxation response is essentially when we can activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest part of the autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is more when we're in stress response, and we live our life largely in stress response, not just like when we're going through an actual stressful moment, but a lot of times, since we're so busy, we're kind of caught up in that sympathetic nervous system. The thing about moving into the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest more consciously, is it starts to facilitate healing in the body. And so, yes, of course, if you've been through cancer treatment, or even if you're months out, years out, or maybe there's still lingering side effects, then healing is valuable. And so also, no matter what phase of life we're in, we could probably be healing from some of our stress response that we feel on a regular basis, because the body often doesn't differentiate big stress from small stress. It just is like, ooh, the sympathetic nervous system is activated. So today we want to really try to bring in that relaxation response. Sleep is a big part of relaxing and recovery. And just to think about your sleep for just a minute and notice on a regular basis, how are you sleeping? And I'm going to ask a few questions. I just want you to think yes or no to each one. First, are you in a state of healing right now? Not just from cancer, but stress in that way, or grief, or something of that nature. Are you busy? Are you very busy throughout the day? Does it take you a while to fall asleep? Do you wake up and still feel tired? Do you wake up throughout the night? Do you feel restless while you sleep? Do you think you need more sleep? Do you want a better quality of sleep? And so if you answered yes to any of these questions, then Yoga Nidra will be beneficial for you. So what is Yoga Nidra? Essentially, like I said, it is yoga sleep. It will bring in that complete relaxation response. And one of the cool things about Yoga Nidra is 1 hour of Yoga Nidra can be equivalent to closer to 3 or 4 hours of actual sleep. Now we're going to do 30 minutes. So the math is a little fuzzier there, but 30 minutes kind of closer to what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe. Now, what are the benefits? It's going to help reduce the rhythm of our brain waves. When we're in the middle of the day, we're in beta. So we have very busy brain waves, and they kind of go like this. When the brain is busy, the body wants to be busy. So essentially, Yoga Nidra then brings us into a state that's kind of between alpha and theta. So alpha brainwaves is similar to how we feel when we first wake up in the morning. It's like very soft and malleable, right? And then the theta brainwaves are more of our subconscious, where we get to when we try to meditate. So it's more that like really, gentle brain waves in both cases. So we want to get into that state. And when we do so, it helps with stress relief. It can relieve depression, anxiety, insomnia, can get rid of headaches or chronic fatigue, or even chronic pain or hypertension. And so another benefit that's less medical is that it can help with focus and learning capabilities, as well as enhancing memory and creativity, as well as our intuition. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we are going to be moving into a few gentle stretches just so that our body feels prepared to take a rest. And it will be helpful today to have a blanket or a towel and a pillow of some sort. So I have a bolster here, which is going to be my pillow, and a blanket's great. I would say if it's a towel, a larger one, so that it can go over your body when we decide to take our little yoga nap later. And we'll be starting either seated or on your back for a breathing exercise. And we'll be moving into a seated position when we do a few stretches. So it's up to you where you want to start tonight. I like to personally do this breathing exercise laying down, but it does not matter. And so if you decide to lay down, you can put your head on a pillow or a blanket, maybe even the pillow underneath your knees so that you have a nice straight spine. And if you're sitting upright, you could place something like a pillow or a blanket underneath your sit bones so that you can have your hips above your knees and again, a nice straight spine. So even though I like to do this laying down, I'm going to sit up so that I can talk a little more clearly. This breathing exercise is called stair-step breath. And so before we begin, I'd like for you to think about something that is soothing for you. And maybe an image comes into mind, or it could be a place, it could be imaginary. When you have that image, just kind of keep it close. And then also bring into your mind something that you want to let go of right now, something that's not serving you, that you want to completely release. And so I'm going to model what I mean by a stair step before we begin. We're going to inhale 5 times. So you'll be gently sipping in your breath, like holding the breath at the top, and then we'll be exhaling. There will be an opportunity to stair step down after we do this for a few rounds. Now, we're not exhaling at all as we increase our breath. So you're just kind of gently sipping in the breath, holding at the top, and then we'll let go. All right, let's begin. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, go ahead. You can keep them open as well. We'll begin thinking about being at the base of a mountain, and we're going to just be hiking up. And so begin with just a gentle inhale, followed by an exhale. And then going to the base of the mountain, we're going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath at the top, think of something soothing. And then exhale, nice smooth release all the way down. Good. Back around to the base of the mountain, stair step up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath at the top. Think of that soothing thing. And then we're going to exhale, release all the way back down. One more time, back to the base. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Think of that soothing image and let go of the breath all the way down. Back around to the base, stair stepping up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath at the top and think of what you want to let go of this time. And we're stair stepping down. So exhale. And 5. Back around to the base. Inhale, stair step up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath at the top and think of what you want to let go of. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really letting go on that last exhale, squeezing the belly in. Back around to the base. One more time. Inhale up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, stair step down for 5. Letting go. 3, 2, and 1. Back around to the base. We're going to nice smooth inhale this time, thinking of something soothing on the way up, nice and smooth. And then on the exhale, letting go, thinking again, smooth breath down. 2 more of those, back to the base. Imagine maybe you're taking a gondola ride up the mountain, nice and smooth, thinking of something soothing. Exhale, back down the mountain in the gondola car, letting go of what no longer serves you. Last time, back to the base, nice smooth inhale up. Hold the breath at the top and think of what you're letting go of all the way back down. We'll just return to a normal breathing pattern, whatever feels good for you here. Take notice of how you feel, how your breath is flowing through your body. Perhaps if anything has shifted. The stair-step breath can bring energy in, but it's also known to relieve anxiety and really kind of meet you where you're at, and it gives you exactly what you need. So it's not necessarily energizing, and it's also not too relaxing, just nice and balancing. So we will start to move just a little bit. Go ahead and come up into a seated position. You can start, if it's comfortable for you, to come into cross-legged. Your hands to your knees. We're just going to take a few rolls here. So as you inhale, bring your chest forward. As you exhale, move over to the left and then back, rounding your spine, scooping your belly, back around to the right and forward. And again, we're kind of exhaling as we move back and scooping the belly. Inhaling as we come back around to the front. A few more times, seeing how big you can really make these circles. Just massaging our inner organs, replenishing all the blood flow that goes in there, help with digestion, just moving energy through the body. Next time we come around to the front, we're going to pause and go the opposite way. So taking an inhale, exhale, rounding to the right and back. And then coming back around. Moving again, trying to make these circles as symmetrical as the first ones. It's okay if they're not, because a lot of times there's imbalances in the body. Then we'll just start to come back around to center after this last one. Bring your spine straight, and then just take your chin, tuck it down, roll the ear over to the right. Dip the chin through center, rolling it over to the left. One more time. Stretching each side of the neck. Maybe hovering in the center, hands behind the head, massaging the back of your neck for a moment. I like to go up into the occipital lobe, which is kind of where the skull meets the neck. And then down the spine into the shoulders. Just giving yourself some self-love. Bringing the chin back down and then rolling the ear over to the left and stretching the right side of the neck. Then back to center. Nice straight spine. And we're going to straighten the right leg out to the side, keeping the left knee tucked in. And then start to just square out over that right leg. So moving so that you're in line. Slowly inhale the arms up. Pause here, press into the sit bones. And then inhale, reach taller through the fingertips. As you take an exhale, you hinge at the hips, reach forward so you have a flat back. And then your hands come down, and maybe you're nice and straight here. Maybe you're able to get a little bit of a forward fold. If you have a pillow nearby, you could take it and kind of rest your chest on it. And allow your chin to tuck down just a bit here. So you're getting a hamstring stretch. And we're going to come into some steady breaths. Slowly inhaling. Exhale. Let's do 3 more mindful breaths. Only thinking about the air moving in and out. Maybe pulsing with the breath a bit as well. Inhaling to lift and lengthen. Exhaling to fold. Take 1 more breath here. Slowly start to rise back up, and then take a gentle twist over to the left. Lengthen the spine. Gently twist looking over the left shoulder. Breathing here, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, gentle twist. 1 more breath. We're going to keep this alignment sort of gazing over to the left, and then just take our right arm and either place it on the leg or gently in front. You could also take maybe the pillow that you have or a yoga block, putting it in the front. And we're going to just act like we're skimming the horizon with the left arm, gazing over or under the arm. So reaching through the fingers. And then settling into the sit bones. So again, we'll breathe here. Inhale from the sit bones all the way up your side body to the fingertips. Exhale, sending the breath back down to the sit bones. We'll take 2 more breaths. Last one. And then slowly bringing the hand down, rising back up. We're going to switch sides. So taking the left knee out, right foot onto the inner thigh, turning so that you're squared off towards the leg. Inhale, arms rise up, and pause here for a minute. Plug the sit bones down. Inhale up to the fingertips. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. And then coming down, placing the hands on the mat. And so hands can be up if you like to receive new energy, just being open to whatever the practice has for you. Grounding is when you place your hands down. So if you're feeling like you need a sense of grounding, you can just press the hands into the floor of the mat. Again, we'll take a few more breaths here. Feeling the hamstring stretch. And we'll start to peel back up nice and slow. Arms rise overhead. Turn over to the right. And hand to the knee, 1 hand behind you. We'll lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, twist a little bit more, gazing over the right shoulder. 2 more mindful breaths. Breathing in for length. Breathing out, twisting. And then keeping this alignment, dropping the left arm inside the inner thigh, and then sweeping the right arm up overhead. So you're going to get some nice length here in this other side body. Again, feeling your sit bone pressing down. And as you inhale next, let the breath rise up through the fingertips. Exhale, send the breath back down to your sit bones. 2 more breaths, feeling the length as you inhale. And as you exhale, soften. Last one. Slowly start to bring your hand down. We're going to bring our feet together and come into more of the butterfly pose. And there's an option here to do this seated, where we'll come into a forward fold. And that's going to have a very calming effect. Forward folds kind of draw our energy inward. Or there's an option to take a pillow or a blanket, rolling it and placing it behind your spine. This is going to be more heart opening. And spine goes over the blanket roll and the legs come out to the side. You could even put pillows to pad by your knees so that your knees don't open too much. Lots of options here. If you're doing this sitting up, you could take a pillow. It might take actually multiple props here, like the pillow and a blanket. So you could bring your head to something solid. And again, hands are up for receiving and being open. Hands are down for grounding, feeling a sense of safety and security. Especially if you had a day that was unsettling, I'd go for the grounding. Smoothing out your breath. Whatever you've chosen, we're going to be here for 5 nice, smooth breaths. Seeing if you can soften anything else with each exhale. So you kind of get this inner thigh stretch as well as outer hips. Last 2 breaths. We'll slowly start to move our way back up. And we're in our last few postures before we move into Yoga Nidra. We are going to come up to tabletop for just a moment. You can put something under your knees to pad if that's comfortable. Just so we can move into some cat-cows. So you can move your hips and circle them around. Release the head and neck. And take some organic movements for a moment. And this is where you can literally get the wiggles out before we start to settle. Then stack your shoulders over your wrists and hips over your knees. Draw the belly towards your spine. And we'll start by inhale, drop the belly, allow your chest and gaze to move forward, tailbone lifts. As you exhale, push into the mat, really round your spine, tuck your chin to chest. Nice slow movements with your breath. Inhale, tailbone tilts, heart shines through, gaze is forward. Exhale, press down and round. Good, we'll do 2 more, nice and slow, like you're moving through honey. And exhale. Trying to really let the head and neck go when you drop down. Last one. Coming back to a tabletop. Walk the fingertips forward. Nice straight arms. We'll take an inhale, puff the spine up and round like we do in cat. And as you exhale, let your head hover between your arms. Release the head and neck and feel that shoulder stretch. So this is a heart opening pose. Take a few more breaths here. You can have some gentle pulsations if it feels tight. Just trying to get a good shoulder stretch as we stretch our legs and our hips as well. We want to make sure everything gets a little bit of a stretch before we lay back down. And then we can start to drop our forearms to the mat and wiggle the hips down. Coming into Sphinx pose, palms are pressing down, toes untuck. And we'll start to act as though you're pulling your fingers back towards you as well as your elbows and shining your chest forward. So we're getting a little bit of a back bend. You can drop your shin down and roll the neck side to side. Maybe pausing in the middle, allowing the gaze to come down. You can also take your elbows to the mat and bring your fingers towards your jaw and massage a little bit here. So you're in a little bit of a back bend, massaging the jaw, releasing any tension there. Eventually bringing your hands back down. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Slowly coming down as you exhale. We'll just start to roll onto your back. So starting to come into our last posture before Shavasana, which is Shavasana's corpse pose, and that's where we'll be for Yoga Nidra. You just bend the knees for a moment and bring your hands down by your sides. And press the hands down, press the feet down. And as you inhale, just gently lift the hips up. So options here. For an active bridge, you're squeezing the inner thighs towards center, and maybe a block goes between the knees. Or you could take a bridge where we put something underneath your back, like a block or a pillow. And so that gives you more of a supported bridge. With the arms, a few options. If you're in supported bridge, it may feel good to bring your arms overhead, cactus them to the side so that you get a heart opener with this. If you're taking an active bridge, then you're going to have the shoulders more snuggled under, maybe the hands are clasped or hands are pressing down. So breathing, whatever you've chosen, you could take a few rounds of an active bridge and then take a supportive bridge. Lots of combinations are possible. And last 2 breaths wherever you're at. Slowly making your way down to the mat. Before we take our corpse pose, it may feel good to just move your knees side to side. Inhaling knees to center, exhaling, dropping them to the right or to the left. Rolling your gaze the opposite way. Any other movements that may feel good to you, you can take at this time. You'll slowly start to make your way into Shavasana. So if you're going to support your legs, you can put a pillow underneath your knees. And if it's cold in your house or if you're feeling a little cool, you'll get even cooler as your body relaxes. So you'll put a blanket over your whole body. If you are feeling kind of warm right now, sometimes it's nice to just take a blanket and put it over your belly. That will have a grounding effect. And arms come out to the sides, you'll take up a little bit of space. So I'm just gonna allow you to get comfortable here. If it's not comfortable for you to lie down, you can definitely do this while sitting up as well. And there's the option to keep your eyes open or closed. So it's not comfortable for you to close your eyes, you don't have to. So your job in Yoga Nidra is to stay focused enough to follow the scan through your body, to hear each word and to allow it to register fully. So we'll be moving slowly so that you can hear and actually feel into your body. So this is a lot less about doing and it's more about being still. And it's the yoga that's on the inside. So it's less about these poses. It's really what's going on in your internal landscape within. So again, just be here now. And take notice if there's any resistance towards slowing down. It's very normal if there is, and it's okay. So it's kind of a meditation in the sense that you'll become aware of what's happening, aware of your thoughts. And an overactive mind or a restless mind usually means that the body wants to be overactive or restless too, or vice versa. So if you have a body that likes to move, then the mind is probably going to be pretty active. So this will be a good practice for you. So instead of, being critical or judgmental of any of those things, just use that as mindfulness to be aware. And it's all okay because this is practice, not perfect. All right, now as we get settled here, start to get comfortable and take a few belly breaths. You can even put your hand or both hands on your belly. Inhale, feel the breath expand into your hands like a balloon. And exhale, release, feel your hands retract. And as you take these deep belly breaths, which will have a grounding effect and relieve anxiety, you're just sending yourself a message to your body that it's time for Yoga Nidra. You allow your hands to just come down by your sides. Allow sounds to come and go. You may notice sounds that are within the room, or even ones that are distant and outdoors. And see if you can visualize the room that you're in. Your eyes are closed, just bringing it into your mind. The ceiling, the walls, and the floor. Knowing that it's a safe space to relax. And start to draw your attention inwards. Taking careful notice of any sensations within you. We'll begin to navigate your inner landscape. allowing your meditative focus to be your GPS. Start to notice what kind of terrain you're navigating. If it feels a little bit bumpy, maybe it's flowy. It can be whatever you want it to be. So perhaps you notice it may feel one way at first, but you may want to think, oh, it's very lush and green in here. Bring attention back to your breath, nice and smooth. Allowing it to rise from your belly and up into your chest now. Exhaling, letting the breath move down your spine, back to the belly. Rising from the belly, ribs to chest. Exhale, breath moves down your spine. As you're breathing, you can continue this 3-part breath or return to a normal breathing pattern. I want you to count your breath backwards from 5 to 1. So as you inhale, belly rises, that's 1. Exhaling is 2. Inhaling. And exhaling. I just realized I was counting up instead of down. So it really doesn't matter. If you're counting up, you go to 5. If you're counting down, you go from 5 to 1. It doesn't matter if you lose track. You just start over and begin again. If you hear my voice and it brings you back towards your counting, you can begin again. And starting with 5, inhaling is 5, exhaling is 4. Inhaling is 3, exhaling is 2. Coming back to a natural breath. Allow your body to settle a little deeper. And bring into your memory a place. It could be something that's real or something that's in your imagination. This place is supposed to invite in a sense of ease or security, safety. A place where you feel good or okay. Maybe there's images of a loved one, a person or a pet there as well. Can you allow yourself to simply be at ease? Setting aside the role that you fulfill in this world. Knowing that this is your place to just be. So this place that you're visualizing is your inner resource. Notice how it feels in your body. Thinking of maybe sensations within. Maybe you see different colors. Knowing that you can always come back to this place. It is your inner resource for you to access whenever needed. And simply set an intention here for the rest of this practice. It can be anything that you hope to bring out of it, which can be as simple as being present, or just stay open. Now we'll follow the journey of sensations through a body scan. There's no effort. There's no need to try. Just allow this experience to come to you. Just bring attention towards your head as it's lying down a pillow or perhaps something else soft beneath it. Notice the back of the head, the hair, right where it meets your scalp. And draw attention towards your jaw. You allow it to soften. Teeth slightly parting. Focusing on your mouth. Tongue resting upon the palate or roof of your mouth. Your teeth. Your lips. Moving towards your cheeks. The left cheek. Right cheek. Nose. The left nostril. And the right. Can you pause here, noticing how the breath is moving through your nose? Maybe one nostril feels more dominant. Notice the sensation inside. The air feel cool as you inhale and warm on the exhale. Allowing allowing yourself to let go of thinking. Instead, simply sensing. Feeling your way through. Notice your eyes. Left eye. Right eye. Both eyes simultaneously. Feeling your eye settling into the sockets. Eyelids heavy. Allowing eyelids to stop fluttering. Simply relax. Moving towards your left ear. Right ear. Both ears. And what you hear. Feeling your forehead cool and at ease. The skin upon your face. And any sensations on the surface. As well as under. Moving down towards your neck. Back of the neck. Front of the neck. And inside your throat. And bring attention to your left shoulder blade. Left shoulder. Left upper arm. Left elbow. Forearm. Wrist. Left hand. And left fingers. Relaxing the pinky, ring finger, middle, pointer, and thumb. Welcome sensations in your entire left arm. Allowing it to feel warm, heavy, and at ease. Notice the difference between the left and the right arm now. Shifting your focus towards your right shoulder blade, right shoulder, right upper arm. right elbow, forearm, wrist, right hand, back of the hand, and your palm. Relaxing your fingers, pinky, ring finger, middle, pointer, and thumb. Notice that the right arm has sensation. It's heavy, warm, and at ease. Now draw attention towards your chest. Notice if the breath is rising towards your chest. Upper back, mid back, lower back, ribs, the left side rib, the right side ribs, whole rib cage expanding and contracting with your breath. Feel the entire torso and the sensations that move through it. Welcome all sensations in your torso, allowing it to be at ease. Moving sensations down towards the lower back and up towards your belly. Feeling the breath moving in and out. Feeling the pelvis, the left hip, left buttocks, left thigh, tops of the thigh, bottom, left knee, left calf, left shin, left ankle, left foot, heel of the foot, arch, and toes. Little toe over to the big toe. Feel the entire left leg heavy and warm. The entire left leg is at ease. Notice how the left leg feels compared to the right. Drawing attention back up to the pelvis. Right hip. Right buttocks. Right thigh. Top of the leg and bottom. Right knee. Right calf. Right shin. Right ankle. Right foot. Heel of the foot. And arch. Down to the toes. Big toe over to little toe. The entire right leg is heavy and warm. Right leg is at ease. Feel both legs now at the same time. Both legs are heavy, warm, and at ease. Letting go of any thinking. Now sense the entire back of your body lying heavy upon the ground, the mat or your bed. Shift to the entire front of the body. Now feel the right side of the body from your feet up the side towards your head. And down the left side of the body from your head, left side to your feet. Feel your entire body. Notice any subtle sensations. The whole body is warm, relaxed, and at ease. From this space of ease and relaxation, draw attention back to your inner resource, special place. Notice how you feel. Is there a sense of openness, spaciousness, and stillness? From this space, can you invite into your heart a deeper intention? Perhaps noticing what your heart is telling you. with this deep intention that we can sometimes call a sankalpa. Can you believe that this is already true rather than something that may happen in the future? Saying it to yourself in the present tense. And slowly start to orient yourself back into the room. Notice the sounds around you. Coming and going just as the thoughts do. Notice the air, the temperature, any smells. And perhaps some light is peeking through. Eyes start to flutter. I invite you to make any mindful movements here that feel helpful to awakening from the state. Maybe movements of fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe a full body stretch, arms overhead, reaching from fingers down to toes. Pendiculating, which is just any stretch or movement that feels good to you as though you're waking up first thing in the morning. So from this restful state, I invite you to get your journal. If you're not feeling like journaling, perhaps you just think about this mentally. How do you feel now compared to when you started Yoga Nidra? What has shifted for you? Take you a moment or two. And notice if you felt any resistance along the way. Again, it's completely normal. We're conditioned as humans to move a lot and to have very active minds and bodies. Did you feel any resistance towards stillness, towards slowing down? And maybe you didn't feel any resistance towards slowing down, but there was resistance towards staying present. That's okay too, because sometimes when we really need some rest, there's resistance towards the focus, to staying mindfully engaged in the Yoga Nidra process. So if you notice resistance either in stillness or in the focus, you write a little bit about that. Think about what or when it happened. Why. Last question. Did you receive any heartfelt messages? When we get into more of those alpha and beta brain waves, we're able to access more of our heart center, which is where more of our true nature within. It's hard to get there sometimes when we're busy, we're moving, or the mind is overactive. So in this more malleable state, what did your heart say to you? Sometimes we're surprised at what comes up. It's more of our intuitive response. Taking a moment to write or think about that. One more moment to sort of wrap up your thoughts. You can always come back to the journaling later. I invite you to join me by putting your hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra. The light and love in me honors the very same in each of you. Namaste.